Steph Curry is joining us on behalf of Brita, and he's teaming up with them to provide clean drinking water to schools. As a founder of a charter high school, I'm enthusiastic to know. And tell me more about that.
Yeah, I have a great opportunity to partner with Brita on the Filter for Your Future campaign to help schools, with water contamination issues, try to filter out their need for water bottles as a source for, clean, safe drinking water. Every sale of a Brita Long Last filter or pitcher, $1 from that sale is going to go towards providing schools across the country that are dealing with this issue with hydration stations to give their students clean, safe drinking water. And obviously that's doing great for the kids, doing great for the schools, but also cleaning up the environment with how much water bottles or how many water bottles are being used now, right? So doing a lot of great good with it, a great opportunity to help our kids and continue to move the needle in this conversation.
That's amazing work and should be commended. And by the way, I've always respected how you balance your family life and career. And by the way, I played against your dad. Both of our dads played in the league, scored over 20,000 points. What were your basketball goals growing up?
I really just wanted to enjoy the moment. I was just talking with somebody yesterday about, people ask, do you want to be, when you were a kid, did you see yourself in the NBA or whatnot? And that was always a goal of mine, and I worked very hard every step of the way to put myself in the best position, but I just loved playing basketball, loved who I got to play, with my teammates growing up, the challenge of the competition, and as I went through the ranks, just appreciating every moment that I got to play. I think that kind of sparked, my development in the game because I didn't really rush to the end goal. I just stayed in the moment, appreciate, like I said, every level that I got to play, and that really inspired the joy that I have for it.
Well, it worked out pretty well. I mean, two-time champion, the only unanimous MVP. I'm switching gears. Who has the best handles currently in the league?
There's so many guys. If you want to talk about like just getting from point A to point B, or always being in control, obviously Kyrie's in there, John Wall, CP. There's guys that do it a bunch of different ways. And you look at LeBron, like him just being able to get from one place to another with the ball in his hand with strength and power and all that kind of stuff. So it's just depending on who you ask, you probably get a different answer. But there's those three. I'll put myself in there too. I'd say have the best handle.
I'm glad you went there because people never distinguish the fact that there are people that can dribble, then there are people who have a handle. And just because you can kill a crossover or between the legs or behind the back is different versus getting from point A to point B. Thank you for distinguishing that. People always sleep on that fact. Oh, it irritates me so much. What's more embarrassing?
Who those guys are. Yeah, so it's a good point.
So in your opinion, what's more embarrassing? Getting crossed up, I know you saw what James did to Wesley. That was just nasty. And falling or getting dunked on?
In my world, getting crossed up because I'm more out on the perimeter anyway, so I'm not down in the trees getting dunked on too often. So, but that's the part of the culture now. It's a highlight-driven world and social media and all that stuff. So, a guy like Wesley who had an incident with James, that's a part of the game. And I actually appreciate the fact that he took that one-on-one challenge. It didn't work out for him, but the fact that he wasn't scared to guard somebody one-on-one, no matter what the outcome was, that's what basketball is about. So hopefully that doesn't change as generations come up in this new kind of culture and this new highlight-driven world. That it's all right if you get dunked on, if you try to block a shot, or if you get crossed up when you're trying to defend, because it's a part of the game.
Thank you for calling it an incident. I'll call it a crime scene when a guy falls on the ground. Only thing we missing is the chalk on the line, on the floor, like you did with Chris Paul on the baseline. Something like that.
It happens.
It happens to it ain't never happened to me because I didn't play defense. So I never got dunked on, I promise you.
You could type in my name and fall and getting crossed, and there's a couple run-ins.
So, Steph, and rightfully so, when the conversation of best shooters of all time, your name continues to come up, and rightfully so, because you deserve to be in the conversation. For your dime, who are some of the best shooters, whether currently in the league or of all time?
I mean, you look at the three-point list, the top of the list, Reggie Miller and Ray Allen, those two guys shooting at such a high level for the length of their careers, that durability and longevity is something I really value from when it comes to shooting. If you look right now, obviously, my splash brother, my teammate, Klay Thompson, you got guys like Kyle Korver, obviously Steph Curry, you got to throw him in the list.
No doubt.
Guys that shot the ball, off the dribble, catch and shoot, able to create space, high percentage, high volume. Another conversation that just depends on what your liking is or how you rank the order. But for me, the way that Ray Allen and Reggie Miller really kind of sparked the three-point revolution and made it a threat and gave an opportunity for guys like me to come in and take it to a whole other level. I always appreciate those guys, and hopefully I can be up there on that list with them when my career is over.
Before we let you get out of here, and I appreciate you taking the time, I got some quick rapid-fire questions. Now, think about it like
All
this.
right.
You can only choose between yourself, Klay, KD, and Draymond, the 4 All-Stars, okay? You got me here?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Which teammate has the quirkiest pregame rituals?
Klay Thompson, for sure.
Give me an example, please.
When he walks in the locker room, he's got the local newspaper sitting on his chair, and he'll take about 30 minutes when he gets into the arena, sit in the chair, catch up on his current events, get his mind right, just be in his own world. And all he's missing is a rocking chair and a cup of coffee, and he'd have his nice little setting.
Sounds like he was watching Michael do that a couple of times and he inherited. What about, who's the worst dancer?
Worst dancer is probably me, even though I feel like I can hold my own.
Well, you look good in your birthday video, eating your ribs.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna bring that up.
I got one last thing I want to ask you, seriously. You and I both have something in common, and this is my most important question to you. I hear you love popcorn the way I do.
Oh man, so when I go through the NBA season and you go to all, I guess, 28 other arenas that we play in, I have my own popcorn ranking, my own popcorn power rankings, if you will.
We need some power rankings. Please let us know who got the best, who got the worst.
The best right now is probably Miami. It always comes fresh and hot, salty, a little bit butter. The worst is probably, that's a good question. Probably Philly right now. And that's no knock on the city or the process.
You ain't got to apologize. They make terrible popcorn.
That's the popcorn. I might have to come out with like my season-ending power rankings so I can, set it in stone. Who's got the best? Who's got the worst?
Well, we appreciate the love, Steph. Thank you for taking the time.
Appreciate it, Jalen.